Hello, everyone, and welcome back to part two of Create Expectations. If you have not watched part one, you should definitely go do that on Sarah's channel. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, all the fun things. And then you have to come back here.
Whoa.
It's been mandated at the end of the episode.
You're getting pushy.
I'm not getting up pushy.
I should just rewind that and say, it not getting.
I'm pushy.
Uh, you said it, not me.
Fair. Anyway,
You
we're
pushed me
here.
into saying it.
Um, okay, so we have viewer questions, we have a roster roast, and we have a character to review.
Mm-hmm.
So we can get it hopefully done before little man inevitably wakes up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That'll be. Even as the viewers are all like, yes, we need to see Little Man.
we'll see. We'll see. Ooh. Um, okay, let's hop in.
He was
Right.
hanging out with me pretty good last time.
He was. He was super good. He's just been on a nap
Yeah.
strike this week. So, he's been super cranky because he's tired. I will say that's the one thing I underestimated was how much time I spend trying to get a tired person to go to sleep.
Yeah. You're like, just sleep, and you'll stop being
I'm
tired.
like, literally today I was like, you know what will fix this? A nap.
And he's like,
No,
no, thank you.
no, great.
I decline to acquiesce to your request.
Oh man. Um, okay. First question. This one is kind of interesting, and I have like an idea of an answer. I don't know if it's really an answer, but anyway.
Right. So now the rest of the comments that are questions people ask
Yeah.
are if they say like if you don't say that's at least kind of interesting,
Yeah.
that implies that it's not interesting.
Can you remind me before every question? Just it's kind of interesting.
No,
Um,
I like the tell. So now I get to see what you think is interesting. This is good.
oh man. Um, Damcrack was saying in terms of like you see a lot of talk about like mod scores on rosters and the roster roast. We try and find like the 300 line and stuff. So they're trying to balance farming speed sets along with all of the other sets for mods. Is there a rough guess as to how many 300 plus speed characters people should have based off like their GP size, for example? So that you could use as a guide for when you would farm speed versus other mods.
So trying to like turn it into a math equation almost.
Yeah, which is not my forte. Just
Uh, Forte has the word for in it though, so
it
it's kind of
does.
math. Yeah.
It also has the
For
word te.
yeah, that sounds like a Canadian thing. um, gosh, Forte is not your forte either. The word forte. Uh, so let's just say that no, there's not really an equation in my
Well,
opinion. Like, well, you go ahead. What do you think?
what I was gonna say was like I don't know if there is because you could have 4 million GP, for example, or 6 million, whatever the number is, and someone else could have the same number as you, and you have different characters geared up and gone after that is going to affect which mods they should like you should be focusing on for those characters. Um, like I don't know, to like throw a random one out there. You might have Thrawn and no one else has Thrawn, or you might have Watt and no one else has Watt, or whoever. You might have Mara Jade and they don't have Mara Jade. Like there's all these little things that can affect it. So I don't know if you can go based off GP versus based off what characters do you have.
Right. And honestly, I feel like the emphasis has been on speed for so long. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, yes, you want speed for sure. That is absolutely the truth. And if you don't have it, then you're really gonna struggle. Like people are gonna run circles around you. But if you have and just barely enough, like you don't have, you can be in the same ballpark as your opponent. And I mean, I'm in the my main account is in the realm of like, well, yeah, I have good mods, but like the people I'm facing have crazy mods. Like I'll have like 90 or 100 somewhere around there of plus 25s, and the people I'm facing sometimes have 3 or 400
Yeah,
plus 25s. Like they have like almost no mods that are at plus 10
that's insane.
because they had to delete them to make room for better mods. And I can still beat those guys, not all the time, but like I can still do it because my characters, once you get to a certain threshold, it's like you don't. Someone's so people are like, oh my gosh, you really have to have a really fast Kylo, like Supreme Leader Kylo. And if you do the math of it, it's like, well, yeah, so it used to be you really wanted a fast one, and now you don't really need a fast one. If you do the math of it, like one Kylo who's like 30 speeds slower than the other, which sounds pretty egregious, but
Hmm.
I mean, and it is like you need way slower mods for one than the other. 30 speed after all is said and done, like if you take away all the turn meter stuff, that is actually a good evening factor as well. Like one Kylo is gonna have to take what like on a it's right around like what like 10 to 20 turns before he actually laps the other one.
Right.
And so it's like, well, yeah, that's it's
It,
don't break yourself trying to get amazing speed.
mhm.
The other ones are really good too. So I don't know. That's to me that's the thing that I'm pushing lately. It's like you don't speed it. Speed is no longer king. It's like the prime minister or something. You know, like it's still
Hey,
important, still very important, but it's not. It's not king.
it's not
It's not.
king.
It's not the emperor. It's not
Uh,
a not dictator for life.
um, I feel like it also just is it's easier to gauge what you need if you can just set your focus versus like, okay, I have 5 million character GP, so I should have this many mods because it's one thing if you have those mods, but you need to be able to also be modding your characters properly and be modding the team as a whole properly for how you're using them. So I think it makes more sense if you're like, hey, I'm going to be unlocking, let's just use Riva as an example. Um, I'm going to be unlocking Riva in 4 territory battles. I should probably start thinking about how I'm going to mod her and what do I need to get for her and start working on it ahead of time and just like do that piecemeal. And even if you're not doing it ahead of time, if you're like, oh, I'm gonna get my bounty hunters into shape, then look at what you need in order to do it and then start working on it. And that way, and what will end up happening naturally is because chances are those characters in your roster have mods on them anyway. You'll take those mods off, put the mods on that you're like, okay, this is how I want Bosk modded, this is how I want Grief modded, etc. Those mods that you took off will now get shifted elsewhere, and there'll be better mods than what you have on somebody else, on your Phoenix squad, for example, or whoever. And they just, it's like a domino effect, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. You kind of just yeah. The everyone gets their get hands me
Yeah.
downs. Yeah,
There's nothing wrong with a good hand me down.
right. I feel super ungrateful right now. I have my main account. I was so tired last night. To be clear, I'm not like proud of this, but I was looking through and I actually have like 25 plus speed mods just sitting on my like in my mod inventory that just
Mhm.
don't. I'm like, do these belong to someone? And I just forgot to reapply them. But I think that they just happen to be really fast mods that I kind of didn't need on a character. I was like, oh, this one fits him better.
Mhm.
So I put a different mod on, and so I need to find homes for them. And I'm not so mod like rich that I can just afford to do that. But this GAC, at least this week, I was like, I was so tired last night. I was like, I'm just going to bed.
Yeah. It's just, but you'll find mods, or you'll find a home for them later.
Yeah, the mods.
Yeah.
As long as everyone's modded, I think that's the important thing.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Next, also kind of interesting questions.
It's okay.
uh Joshua Flint was asking, this is I actually think this is well timed. Should we get a break from capital ship releases? Um, Given like the Leviathan and how it all went down. Do we think the developers should be focusing on developing ships that then increases demand for new capital ships before considering what else to add? The idea being that like what factions in game realistically still need a capital ship on them.
All right. I'll let you take it first. I think I jumped in the first one
Um,
first.
I don't know. So I'm kind of on the fence with this one. I'm like yes and no. I think the bigger thing for me is like so this is like a twofold thing for me. I feel like if like already when Leviathan was coming out, it hadn't I think it had been maybe no, it hadn't even been a full year since Profundity was released that Leviathan dropped. Almost a year. Um and it was all like tons of people were already talking about how stale and boring ships were and are and fleet arena is, etc. So it's like you kind of want something to
Yeah.
change it. But also I'm like, I don't think we need it necessarily because it's so excessive and aggressive. But
That's what she said.
uh yeah. Um but like I think fleets
Thanks.
in general just need something to make them more fun because right now, realistically, in fleets, you have fleets in Grand Arena and you have Fleet Arena, and you're for both of those, you're and even in Territory War, you're just going, okay, well, what's the meta? What can I counter that with? And then it's like, okay, what's the meta now? Oh, it's this thing. Okay, here's my new B tier meta, and like it's just very like blah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just that's what I think they should be focusing on instead is even just how can you change ships up so that we're more enthused by them.
Hmm. It's a good question. I mean, yeah, they should come out with a raid. That we have. Let's do the Death Star raid. That's
Ah,
what. That's. I swear we're gonna now. Sorry, you're gonna get all the comments now about the Death Star raid. We want the Death Star raid. Do you like ships?
uh,
No, we don't like ships. We want the Death Star raid. Okay. Okay. Cool. So maybe it'd be good. Maybe we could have it happen every 2 days instead of every three, like Crate.
oh God.
Um. No, you're right. We need something to engage us in fleets, and honestly, a new capital ship and a new fleet is kind of fun. It's fun to adapt to and figure out what you're gonna do. Like
Hmm.
it changes the meta significantly if it's released well, which Leviathan obviously was not. But I think it's cool. I think like the question is kind of it's interestingly worded. Uh,
Well played.
because they say like, do we need a break? And I guess my question is, how long of a break would that entail? Like, we already took a full year's break.
We were on a break.
Thanks, Ross.
I'm offended. Um, yeah, well, that's a good
Let's
point. Like,
pivot
how
away from
long?
that.
How long of a break do you want?
Right, because like in theory, we were on a full year's break before like the Profundity came out, and then we didn't get another capital ship right until Leviathan.
Right.
So that's a full year.
Hmm.
If we need a bigger break than that seems egregious. Frankly, like 1 year seems about the right release cadence.
Hmm.
And to your earlier point, I don't forget if it was on my, I think it's on my segment, but we were talking about territory battles, and we can't use
Yeah.
you can't use Leviathan. People have been asking me that too, and I'm like, well, okay, so maybe Leviathan isn't the answer. Who knows? Let's wait for the bugs to be fixed
Mm-hmm.
and see if any buffs happen, and then we'll reevaluate, of course. But even if that doesn't work, we also have the off chance that they get crazy and release a non like top tier meta ship or fleet and have Spider Dude be the capital ship.
Trench?
Yeah.
Hmm. True.
Like,
True. I always forget that he has a ship.
well, because people are like, well, the next capital ship's got to be light side, right? And I guess I kind of agree for if it's going to be the top meta capital ship.
I suppose.
I thought you'd get behind that because you're so pro light side.
I am very pro light side. It's just the way I naturally lean. Um,
Okay. Because it doesn't really seem, from my vantage, that that's actually true. But
ah, um, I knew you would argue with me on that. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like GL releases and I guess they all have been light side, dark side so far. Hmm.
but I mean, if that's the case, though, the idea is if Leviathan isn't the answer, it's going to be
Mhm.
2 years till we get a dark side ship that could maybe even beat
That is a
those nodes.
depressing thought. That, yeah, no,
That's
that's
why I'm
bad.
like,
That's real bad.
like maybe Trench will save us.
Maybe we just aren't meant to do those missions. Uh, I asked for something that would want us to have like fleet engagement and to be enthused, and we're just going to ignore those fleet missions.
I
Sad.
mean, to be honest, that would enthuse me the most. That would infuse me with much enthusement.
Man. Yeah, but I don't know what the answer is because I feel like a year is a good amount of time.
Yeah, it's not like I really love it. I was my other
That's what
awesome
she said.
suggestion. Oh, gosh. My other awesome suggestion was maybe we take it said okay, you guys don't want a raid, fine, let's not have a raid. No, please don't give us a raid. But instead of that, we could throw ships into Conquest.
Hmm.
Don't actually listen to me, CG. Let's scrap that.
It's okay, we're on my channel. They won't listen to us.
They don't listen to mine either. They did one time. We have evidence that they've
It's
listened to
true.
at least one.
Uh, um, okay. Any other thoughts on that before we get to the last question, which is actually three questions?
Oh, which are all less interesting than the first two. Continue.
I think they're interesting. There's interesting aspects. Um, Jack 6201.
Don't say ass.
Do you want me to just fire off all three, or do you want me to break it apart?
I don't. Let's hear
The
the
whole
whole
thing. The whole.
shebang. Yeah.
What new content do you want to see other than Galactic Legend Leia? Do you think CG will ever bring any more Mando content to the game? And who do you think is going to be the next Starkiller, Dr. Aphra type release unit at the end of like the Christmas unit that gets released?
Those are all fun. Which one do you want to do first?
Oh man. Do you want to just do them in order?
Sure. I mostly asked that because I forgot what they are. But
So, what new content do you want to see in the game other than Galactic Legend Leia?
I want a revamp of Territory Wars more than I even want a revamp of GAC. Like I feel like I could like Territory Wars
Mm-hmm.
in certain contexts, and obviously, like a lot of my stuff would be pretty subjective. So who knows if they would go in my opinion, the right direction. But Territory Wars to me just destroys my soul.
Soul.
I hate it, man.
Me
Territory
too.
Wars there's no joy to it. If I have to place like put an Omicron on for territory wars, I'm like, man, do I have to? Like
I
I'd
will
rather
s-
put one on Sherpa.
I will say I agree that they need a revamp, but I know that even with a revamp, I will not enjoy them,
Well, that's a
which is
good
fine.
attitude. With that
It,
attitude, I know you won't.
um,
What would you want?
I mean, I feel like Territory Wars needs it. I do want something with
Oh,
ships, but I don't know what I want with ships. Man, I don't know if I want something that's going to take up more time. Is the thing. For the longest time, I don't know what they would do for this. I want them to do something with
whoa.
Galactic War. It's just dead. Like it's just sitting there. Like, hey, hit a button.
Don't. The sim button is magic. Don't bring back that game mode, please.
I feel so bad. It's like just dead. Turn it into a sandbox or
Good.
something.
Good. Let it die. Holy balls! It's a terrible game mode. That Conquest
Uh,
is the natural succession to Galactic War. That's why they put them in the same place.
sure, ish, I guess, but not really.
Don't make me do 25 battles every day.
I don't want to. I want something different. I don't know. I don't know what I want. Um,
Let me ask you this: is there something you would want to change on Conquest, or is it to your eyes perfect?
mm,
Because you love Conquest.
the only thing that I have thought about in terms of conquest. So I love that we have the sim feature now. Fantastic. Great improvement.
Agreed.
Um, I think you can make the same amount of points required for conquest. And in order to take away like the grindy aspect of it, just break down the feats so that you're doing less repetitive nonsense and um making them worth the same amount of points. So for example, instead of win 14 battles with no tanks, um say it's win and it's worth 10 points, let's say it's win 7 battles with no tanks and now it's worth 5 points, and then win 7 battles with
Oh,
bad batch and it's worth 5 points or something like that. Like just something where you're adding an extra feat that takes away the like doing 40 battles with clone troopers or whatever the hell it is that you
yeah.
do.
I have to say I'm not a huge fan of that because
Because that's where
but
like the
for
grindy feeling comes from, in my opinion.
so my main account is great, and you run Conquest on my middle account. So
Mhm.
I would if you want it, then that's fine. My little account though, I already struggle to find enough feats to do. Like I don't have teams.
Yeah,
There's just
that's
not
fair.
enough teams. Like that would really hurt smaller accounts. I think that
That's fair.
like I. Whew, oh, sorry, I didn't like it. I don't like it, Sarah. But I can I agree. The grindiness is just. I didn't use the sim feature on
Mhm.
Conquest until the second week for my main account.
Yeah, I didn't use it either until the second week.
I a little bit. I just used like I kind of once I hit red crate, then I could start simming. Was kind of like not that that
Yeah.
was the not that rule was imposed on me, but
Mhm.
it's kind of how I treated it.
Yeah, because m my thought was I didn't want to sim and then like be racing to catch up at the end because I spent time simming instead of finishing the feats.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean I try and do as many feats on the Datacron notes anyway. So anyway. Okay. Uh
Oh
do you
yeah, we
think
have
that
two more.
yeah, there's two more. Do you think they will ever bring more Mando content to the game?
Sure.
I don't see why not. I mean, totally could.
Yeah, I think they just take a long time to
Yeah.
build it because unless it's something that CG or Disney or whoever makes these decisions,
Disney.
EA, if they're trying to push, like there's been some releases that came out like right on top of the new thing, the new
Mm-hmm.
awesome thing. Unless they're trying to push that though specifically, then Yeah, it's just gonna take them like a year because they're already outside of like they say they operate within like 6 month windows or whatever. So like
Mhm.
right now they know what's gonna happen 6 months from now roughly.
Right.
Not that they can't change it, but they already have plans for all the character releases, all the stuff, and then I'm sure they have a penciled in a bigger view of the next year or whatever. And so Mando season 3 comes out, and they're like, "Oh, cool! Like, let's try to incorporate that sometime." But the next year-ish is booked.
Right,
When can we
exactly.
fit it in?
And then I mean, there's only so much knowledge that Disney's going to give them as well in advance. So,
Right. Well, yeah, like I said, like unless Disney is
hmm
like giving, because I know they have in the distant past, like it's been a while now, but the Disney has given them in the past like exclusive information that they
hmm
so they could work on stuff. So
right. Um, okay.
maybe Disney doesn't even do that at all anymore. Who
I don't
knows?
know if they do, but okay. Who do you think is going to be the next Starkiller Dr. Aphra type of release unit? I genuinely don't know because I don't follow that part of the Star Wars lore. Like I didn't know who they were until they were here.
Yeah, and that's fair. I mean, I would love it if they wanted to keep doing more expanded universe, or
Mhm.
like the stuff, the lore that people don't really follow. I mean, it's just like pure speculation. Like who really knows? I would love it if they wanted to I would love it if they wanted to do like a Rogue Squadron release from back in the day. A bunch of Rogue Squadron stuff, like the X-wing Rogue Squadron books were my very favorite. They
Mhm.
still some of my favorites. And Corran Horn is one of my favorite characters ever, and he could be a Jedi, he could be a pilot, and then it could revamp the Home One fleet.
That would be fun. Um,
I mean, I'm pretty sure they're not going to do it, but that would be fun for
it
me.
would be fun. Um,
Star
yeah.
Killer. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I like that they have done the EU stuff that I'm not familiar with because then it just kind of like you learn all these little things about the Star Wars universe that you didn't know before.
I have to say, like that's my very favorite release that they've ever done. I've said it a lot of times, but Starkiller was so exciting
Hmm
because, I mean, and it's my favorite squad to use anyways right now. But just the fact that they took all these EU characters and put them into the game, like it was so cool, and they were all good characters, and they were usable in so many different squads, and it was just that was the best. That like the all-time best release that this game has had. Not like update, it's not like the 4X button or something, but my favorite character release ever was that series of releases, like all of
Hmm.
them. Yeah, it's just a lot of fun.
I like that.
Oh,
Um, okay. That's it for questions then.
okay, we took half an
Cool.
hour to do that.
All right. Awesome. Um, shall we do a quick character review and then a roster?
Yeah, let's do that real quick. I remember my cousin once asked my mom when we were kids. He asked, "Can we watch Aladdin real quick?"
Real quick. Watch it
Yeah,
on 2 times speed.
I know. It was like I always quote that now. I'll tell you who isn't real quick is Clone Wars Chewie.
He's not real quick at all.
No, no,
Uh,
he's got more and more tags here. Let's I'll try to if I can find the button for the game here.
mhm,
Yeah, so he's a light side tank leader, Galactic Republic scoundrel Wookiee.
mhm.
Actually has a lot of tags. What do you like about Clone Wars Chewie? What do you know?
I know that I use him every conquest for defense up because his leadership ability gives defense up. And
Sure.
he will taunt under Jedi Kenobi.
Yeah, yeah. So I got him to Relic 5 at one point, and not for the meme of it, but
Mhm.
just the idea that uh like sometimes in the past there's been times that all I needed for Kenobi was I needed some taunting tank. And a tank that would hold his taunt, not like Mace, because Mace is exploitable. Like
Yeah.
it's not. It's a little bit weird because it's not really a taunt. It's a different thing. And so like bounty hunters can kind of take advantage of it. So I needed something that wouldn't let people just snipe out Cat right away.
Mhm.
And all I needed was a meat shield. I didn't need him to do anything else. Kenobi's taken. And Mace, like I said, like he's not necessarily that reliable as a tank, as the sole tank on a team. So he's great for that. Like he'll pre-taunt and he won't do much more. He'll just taunt and sometimes he'll roar and
Yeah.
sometimes he'll make other growling noises.
Other Wookiee sounds, Wookiee rage sounds.
Yeah. Oh, well, and at one point someone was like, "Dude, why are you like so intent on this meme of like Clone Wars Chewie?" Like you always like make fun of people who want to use cup, and I'm like, first off, I don't care if people want to make cup jokes. It's fine. I just don't think that they're funny at this point because I've heard it's like a million of them. But I don't care. It's not for the meme though. It was legitimately just I needed a Galactic Republic tank.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Which makes sense.
I do like his new Datacron though. Like that if
The
he
one that's
loses,
coming.
yeah. Well, probably we'd just use Tarful, frankly. But like I think his Datacron is maybe a little bit better. But I do like that Clone Wars Chewie has one that when he loses a taunt, then everyone on the other team loses 50% turn meter. Like that's a real loss.
Yeah.
In fact. That'll mess with people, especially under Tarful, who gives him, like, who gets Clone Wars Chewie to taunt a
Mhm.
lot. He's pretty tanky, and like you said, it's nice. You can use him as lead
Yeah.
to get defense up. Though I will say, if you use Night Sisters a lot, if you can find a use for Night Sisters in that same zone,
Hmm.
Night Sisters will actually get you the defense up pretty quickly as well.
Yeah. So you could do that. I know, and I think people use Kenobi for it too. And um, there's
Yeah,
tons, but it's just so easy with him.
I will say it's the ugliest bowcaster in the game.
It is.
It's
He
like
needs a
pinkish.
refresh, I think. He needs a graphics update.
He's kind of frumpy, isn't he?
He is a little frumpy looking, but
Frumpish.
um, yeah. So he's basically just your meat shield. I don't even know. Like, it's just a basic. Oh, he can remove 50% turn meter on his basic. Hmm.
It's at 55%. Sometimes it does that.
Sometimes it does it. More than half the time it works. So
This is from such a different era, man. Like looking at this, like the abilities are like one line long.
he has a Zeta?
You didn't know that?
Good Lord.
I don't even think I've applied it. Maybe I have. I don't know. I was using him a decent amount. Honestly, he's fine under Tarful. He does good. Like
Hmm.
other Wookiees do better, but if you need those other Wookiees elsewhere, he does okay.
Yeah. So yeah, he's there. He's a meat shield. I'm not going to recommend using him. I know people get mad. I've seen quite a few people get mad whenever CG sends us the Clone Wars Chewie shards,
Oh,
which I think is just funny. But
I'm glad that like it's funny to me that CG at this point has probably reconstituted itself entirely. Like maybe there's some overlap. Maybe there's some developers who have been there the whole time.
mhm.
Uh, I'm guessing there probably are, but for the most part, you know how like our bodies after 7 years we're supposed to on like a molecular level. Can't say
Yep,
that word for some reason. Like you were replaced by entirely different
cells.
yeah cells and everything is like so 7 years there won't be anything from from this body that was in that is in my body in 7 years like it just we're constantly being refreshed and replaced and whatever and like CG kind of feels like that it seems like You know, it's been 7 years. They probably have no overlap or hardly any overlap, and yet they've maintained the Clone Wars Chewie tradition, and I have to appreciate that.
I do appreciate it too. So
Yeah.
don't get mad about it. Um, yeah,
How,
clearly I have not geared mine.
just hit the upgrade button. Don't look at what he needs.
He doesn't need Kairos, right?
No. No, he does not. He might need a lot of Carbenti, but it looks like you can afford it if you can just hit the upgrade button.
Why do you do this to me? You're a bad influence.
Just just give it a little tap.
Here.
Tap.
And then we're gonna go roast a roster.
Oh, you can't even afford the 150,000
No, I can't. You're right.
credits. Yeah,
Or
you only have 624 million.
it's fine. Don't worry about it. We're not roasting my roster
That's not even roster. That's just
currently.
resources.
It's the same.
Makes me so sad. 600.
Don't,
Gosh.
don't worry. Don't worry.
Oh,
It's fine.
I think it's amusing. All right.
Okay.
So, hey, we don't have a uh the whatever they're called. Patron.
Patron? Yeah.
Yeah. That wants the roster roasted. So, hey, we're on the list now. No idea
hmm
if this person's still playing. I guess he's in a guild. So,
He's in a guild, and so this is actually Steve's fantasy ad. So he's has commented on our crate videos quite a few times and is still active on Discord servers. So I'm assuming he's still playing.
cool.
So,
All right.
um, 7.2 million GP.
Oh, hey, there's actually going to be like bad things on the
Mhm.
roster. Good.
I will say I went and looked at one thing. It wasn't the speed order. Okay. I'm putting that on the record. It was not the 300 cutoff. And I got really sad. And then I was like, oh, I can't look at anything else because I need to authentically be sad.
You need to authentically be able to beat me at the speed thing as
I
well.
didn't look at it. Okay. Kyber 4. You want to look at fleets?
Sure.
You sound so sad. Uh, okay. Okay. Um,
Fleets is like
oh,
this is always so horrific.
we're
All right, they
missing
have
two.
a three now.
Oh,
Though I
three. You're
mean,
right. Sorry.
right?
Leviathan.
Like we have 11 now. Is that correct? That's correct, right? I mean, not the Leviathan. We won't hold people accountable for that one for a little
Right.
bit, but
Um,
okay. We're missing Finalizer and Radis,
mhm.
and what else could we be missing? Oh, just yeah.
Just
Okay,
Leviathan.
yeah.
Yeah, because there's eight. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Uh, okay.
5-star profundity.
Oh, purple Grievous.
Yeah, that's a mistake.
That's interesting. Okay.
I can see that you use that word pretty freely. So,
I do. Uh, um, all right.
all right, no interest in doing well in fleets. It looks like.
These are all like the first order.
Oh my
Not all of them,
gosh,
but
none of them are farmed. Oof.
oof, oof. Oh man. Spoiler alert. Look at that fives.
Oh, okay. So no Kenobi at this level. No Jedi Master Luke.
Man.
And we saw that we
Uh,
have he has Sith Eternal in the arena. Is that it? It's all right, man.
you want
Yeah.
to be spoiled? Um,
No. Hmm.
okay. I mean, these ones are farmed at least. Man, I
Like
oh man. I don't even know what to say.
he must have a really good squad game because his ships are just not really gonna help that much.
It's got the Mark Interceptor.
Oh, is he just missing like the Fury?
That's gotta be it. I wonder if he has Malgus.
Probably
Oh no,
not.
there it
Oh, he's
is.
got him. He's got him. All right. All right.
Okay. So he can probably get there at some point. Um, Interesting. Okay.
It's not.
I mean, he's definitely working on his Sith stuff.
He must be so disappointed that his
Uh,
already bad fleets are going to get backed up with a really bad fleet.
no. He's mad. Okay. Do you want to see datacrons before we go look at the
Yeah. We
tombs?
could just privately judge or not judge as we see. Oh, look at all that forest of level zeros.
There's some level zeros. It's not,
Oh, that's not as bad here.
right?
I like that we can see what they've locked. Like,
I know.
hey,
I find that interesting.
you keep using that word.
I'm never
I
gonna be
don't think
able
it,
to use that word ever again.
I don't think it means
Uh,
that you think it means.
ah, man. Okay. Um, okay, characters. So, just see.
Okay, at 7 million to the
Mhm,
Eternal Emperor.
mhm.
Well, he's made it to Kyber 4. I mean, I guess that's the Kyber that no one does ships in. Is probably what it is.
Got Starkiller.
I just okay. I guess let's do the speed thing that you cheated on already. But
I did not cheat on it.
I just how the hell does he not have Grievous relict at this GP?
I don't know. I don't know.
Like I think everyone's Grievous should be relict like right around 1 million GP. It might like he should be maybe be your first relic. Like people should just make plans to auto farm Grievous because you don't have to have anything else good on the roster other than
Right,
him.
right.
Yeah, you don't need to. Um, Gosh, it's just like because they'll kill your droid and then if he's relic, he'll just blender. Then they'll kill another one of your droids, blender, kill another one,
Yeah.
and you'll eventually kill that whole team. You get bad banners, but it's a really effective counter to a ton of stuff early game. So like that,
So Relic your Grievous.
yeah. Even if you don't want to relic the rest of your separatists team, like Grievous, in my opinion, is like the most no-brainer out of almost any of them. And he doesn't even take Cairo. But yeah, I mean, or just feel free to just not have a good roster and, continue to struggle at Kyber 4. So,
Okay. So we're sorted by speed.
yeah,
Um,
we
I
have
mean,
Grief. Huh.
right?
Yeah.
Uh, I I don't know.
I, uh, his Darth Revan is in a very disappointing place right now.
Okay. Oh man. Okay. Well, there's your Crow. So do what you will with that info since he's purple, and that tells you some mod info.
Uh, uh,
Um,
So, for the people who don't know this game, we're trying to guess what the cutoff is, and when sorted by speed,
yeah.
who has the where the cutoff is for 300 speed on a character.
Okay. Can I go first?
Sure, you usually do.
You can go first if you want.
No,
I
let's
I feel like I'm being overly generous, but
no.
I'm
You
gonna
could,
say it's shock.
yeah. Um, I I'm gonna say, gosh, I'm gonna say Moff Gideon.
All right.
Oh, he's got good
Oh,
mods on there. Uh oh.
291.
I
Oh
just
man.
I destroyed you.
Okay,
Holy
let's see what Bosk
cow.
is at. Bosk is 305.
No. No. Steve
Uh,
Fantasy guy.
Padme's 303.
Oh man. No.
303. You were probably
Wow.
there it is. 296.
I almost said fifth brother, then I was like, I'll slide it over one. But
Oh
all right.
man. I was overly generous.
Let's see how
Okay.
overly you were. No. I want to see
Oh,
what speed that person was, please.
oh,
Shakti.
shock.
Yeah. Please be like 230.
276. Yikes.
All right.
Yikes. Okay. Big
All
yikes.
right.
Um, okay, so let's stop sorting by speed and go look at some factions. I'm gonna show you what made me sad. Um,
Okay.
here you go.
Oh. Hello there.
And I stopped looking after this.
Yeah, after you check their speeds real quick.
Yeah, I didn't need to.
This squad is what I would call what Sarah would call interesting. So actually the interesting thing
Uh,
about this is they don't have General Skywalker.
right. That was what I noticed right away. And you're not getting any, or you weren't getting any cam shards. I don't know which TB you're doing now, but I'm assuming you're doing Geo because it looked like their Inquisitors were relicked. Okay, he's got Grand Inquisitor. Okay. You need to put some more relics on him to get Reva shards.
You need to take those Omicrons off and apply them to a game mode that's fun.
Um, okay, so only C, so we know his Sith are probably decent. He's working on Leviathan. Um,
Mm-hmm.
what do you want to look at?
Nothing. Let's just be done. I hate this. Just kidding. Let's gosh. Let's look at Rebels, I guess.
You're so excited, enthused. Oh no.
Interested.
Oh no, look at 3PO and Chewie.
No, look at Commander Luke Skywalker.
I know, that was my first oh no.
But hey, he has the same gear as Pow does, so that's pretty good. It's good priorities.
Pow's like, we match.
We match.
Uh,
Oh man.
okay. But why is my question. That's such a fun team.
Yeah.
Uh 3PO doesn't have any Zetas either.
I mean that's
I guess you
fine.
don't use the team though, so
Like it took. How many Zetas does Commander Luke have? 3.
3.
So and Chupio has 1. Han
Yeah.
has 1.
Chewie is
Chewbacca has
2.
2.
3PO is 0.
He's like, nah, I don't really think we're gonna use that team very much.
Yeah. No need.
Why would
Okay.
you?
Well, that's sad.
He's like, well, the good news is I have a ton of Galactic Legends to help bolster my really bad, like, off-meta team presence.
It's okay because Captain Rex has 2 Zetas.
And an Omicron. All right.
Cannon has a Zeta too.
Kanan. Nice.
Oh man. Okay. All right. I'm gonna stop looking down here. Um, do you have another faction you want to look
Look at Separatists.
at? Okay. That's a good point.
Ugh.
Oh boy.
At least he has 2 Zetas on Grievous. That'll do you well. Look at his health.
It's
Look at
for
his
the
health
ship
pool.
speed.
Yeah, that's what it's. I want to look at his health.
Yikes. Yeah.
Like you have to get into relics
You
to
do.
have
You
health
do.
worth a damn. Like that because all of his damage comes off of health. So like you might
Oh man.
other characters. It's like, hey, look, gosh, he's even 7th star. Like
He's
that would
7
be
star. But
Yeah,
like even
yeah.
some of the droids have more gear than Grievous.
Probably because he wants to unlock General
Gas.
Skywalker. Yeah.
Sad. That hurts. Man,
All right, this killed it for me. Can we be done yet?
you're done. Let me just look at Jedi and then we're done.
For are you happy? Do you see what you've done? At least he has a an Omicron for Qui-Gon for some reason.
Yeah. Okay. I'm done. I feel sad.
Good.